Welcome back to the Riga Arena. Latvia, the home nation, hosts Spain in the last game of group phase action in Group A of the EuroBasket Women 2019. And after their phenomenal performance yesterday to get the win over the Ukraine, you would expect Latvia to come out here buoyed and positive and hopeful of a major upset over the #2 ranked team in the world. Spain, always a favourite in this EuroBasket Women, currently sit 2-0 in this group. As you can see, Great Britain secured their place in at least the playoffs by beating Ukraine earlier on. Now let Spain and Latvia already assured of a playoff spot, but could win the group if they beat Spain. So there is that Great Britain-UK result, 68-54 to Great Britain. There's a number of permutations which we can get to if it ever becomes an issue, but Spain and Latvia face off 6:30 local time here in Riga. We are just about to get into individual player introductions at around 3,000 people in the facility, and the vast majority of them hoping that after an opening night upset loss to Great Britain, Latvia could finish this phase and get a win over Spain. Getting into the player introductions with me again, Teresa Brandlova, the former Czech international, and we're going to look at Spain coming out here. And as always, it's Spain. They're a powerhouse. They're 2-0. It's business as usual, right?
Yeah, Spain, obviously every name coming off that bench right now is a big player with a big story and impact in basketball. They have incredible depth in the guard position on the rotations and stuff, but what I would point out is that as to Endur's performance on Friday, she has been just exceptional. Same as Laura Nichols, always putting the heart on the floor, and I think, you know, it's hard to play against the host nation, but I think Spain's going to definitely do their best to manage today's game, to not allow any drama.
Well, as the crowd are going to welcome the home team, you have to go back to 1998 to find a Latvian victory over Spain. It's the only victory they've ever had. And what this crowd wouldn't give for another Latvian victory that would send them to the next phase of a lot of confidence. A team that made the World Cup, a team that got to the latter stages of the last EuroBasket. It's not a shock, but it's a tall order for them to beat the #2 ranked team in the world, especially well, they've already lost Vitola at the start of the competition after about 4 minutes of play. And they come in without Steinberger, one of their leading players in the last few years. So just finishing off the introductions of the team and coach, and now we will have the national anthems of both countries, and we'll start with Spain. And now the national anthem of Latvia. Well, introductions over, handing of gifts to each other taking place. And there's the third team for this evening's game. The officials: Amy Bonner from the United States, Jasmina Juras from Serbia, and Gleb Jacobs from Belgium. Going to get a look at this Spanish roster in a moment. A roster that has so many caps, so much international experience across it, but it's a mega mission. No Albert Torrens this year through injury. But as we said on the opening night, it's going to be down to the Marta Zargais and an almost rejuvenated La Palau to lead this team forward. Astu Endor has given Lucas Mondello a real double punch on the inside with Laura Nichols. Starting lineup for Spain: Zargai and Palau and Nichols and Cruz and Endor, the same five he started every game with, and they are one of the favourites to lift the championship, one of the favourites to secure a medal. And if Astu Endor has the type of game she had against Great Britain, they're going to go a long way to doing that. 14 points, 67% from the field, 8 rebounds. Look at what she is. Quality, but still only 24 years old, still with an enormous future ahead of her. Teresa, this Latvian lineup, have they got enough in the tank to get back and come up with another performance?
We have seen some promising contribution of not really leader players of the Latvia, let's say, in that game against Ukraine, when Zenta Melnika has stepped up with 18 points and some rebounds. And I think it will really depend how the Latvian team is going to box out and how they're going to manage the personal fouls, because they obviously doesn't have as much depth on the bench as on the opposition Spanish team, because Coach Mondello has loads of players to rotate. Here's the starting five of Latvia with Paula Stormane, Dikela, Kutla, Bere, Bruman, Mane, and Pulvere. Again, usual starting five for Latvian team as well. And here we're looking at Elena Dikela, who has had just a phenomenal game. 33 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists against Ukraine, and I think she has definitely been carrying the team of her nation on her back so far in this tournament. But I think in today's game there is so much better matchup on her, and I'm pretty sure that the experienced coach Lucas Mondello is going to make sure that she's not going to shine as she shined those previous 2 games, and she's going to have a really hard job ahead to do in today's game to bring Latvia to the winning end.
Martin Zibats, one of the most successful national team coaches in Latvian female team history, obviously with his World Cup performance and his performances in the last EuroBasket. Somehow he's got a difficult task here. When you're playing at home, the crowd expects you to be out there doing everything you can, but the likelihood is he's going to have to play in a playoff game tomorrow, so he's got to try and manage his resources, keep the team ticking over, try and get a chance to win, and have one eye on tomorrow's game. It's tough enough to play Spain anyway without all those things to consider. A few Spanish fans have made the trip here. I'm sure a number of Spanish fans are already expecting, well, will be expecting to be in Belgrade. Mondello, since he took over in 2013, has just had success after success after success. He wants to round it off with success here. Wherever you're joining us from, around Europe or around the world, welcome to Riga. Spain in the red uniform, Latvia in the whites. And we jump it up and we're underway. La Palau will get Spain into the half court with a first possession. Hands it off. Zargai. Latvia can cope with this team man-to-man on the perimeter, definitely. Oh, my word. Oh, my word, what a play. Little show time from La Palau. I was up, enjoying that, and Endur, who almost wasn't ready for it, finishes the play.
Yeah, Laila Palau averaging 6 assists per game so far. But with more, she really controls the rhythm. She pushes the ball and she opening up her teammates.
Well, Spain are going to try and put this one away early. They press, and they're going to make Iliacu work for every single second she is on the floor. La Palau said she was going to retire after the last EuroBasket championship. It looks like she's absolutely rejuvenated. Mami.
And what more, she even came looking younger than ever.
Oh, she looks like she's 40 going on 20. Nichols gets it, first foul on the break, inside, outside. Zagai will reverse it. Now we'll get the ball screen from now. Nichols to the wing, Endur, who's on fire. Can't get it, but Zagai almost hunts down the rebound. In fact, it will stay with Spain.
Yeah, this is really an element Latvia needs to take care of, because obviously Spanish team is really good on the glass. They're averaging 35 rebounds, 10 offensive. So if they really want to stay in touch with Spanish team, they need to really take care of that business.
Cruz goes strong with the layup. Iliacu in transition, gives it up. Uvale blows the layup. And for the record, we'll say this a number of times, you have to take every opportunity you have against Spain. Cruz can't get the two to drop. And Pulvare gets it off the wing, the long two is good. Carlos Vladmane opens the account, and I think 3,000 people willed that one to drop. Zagai got it. Marta Zagai, who had a tough night against Great Britain, comes with real intent, and as does Iliacu with a tough coast-to-coast two. Turnover Spain.
That's been great defense from Paula Strantlane now, really being on the back of Marta Zagai. And when you play teams like Spain and you are a little bit underdog, you have to really give everything defensively to even have chance to stay in the touch of the game, and that's why it still is a 2 points difference.
Yaku takes a tough two from the foul line, doesn't drop. Now Nichols will hit the second side and ball screen, nope, just cuts. And she was open, but the foul's called for the hold away from the basketball. End-line possession, Spain need a pass, they go long side. Zagai kicks, La Palau with 10 on the possession, takes the ball screen. Zagai tries to go back-to-back from the three-point line, way short. Pulvare will push. And keeps pushing and is fouled by Ana Cruz.
And again, you have to give a credit to Latvian team to really be brave and push the ball forward quickly before the Spanish defense is even set, and that's great effort at the beginning of this first.
Yaku on a curl, rips it through, goes left. They're going to call that offensive on Yaku with the leading arm. She will claim that she was pushing away an arm holding her, but referee right on the spot. Zagai and Nichols combine again, and Spain go straight to the reversal. Great defense off the ball. La Palau will get the ball screen from Endur. He creates space for Nichols to exploit the baseline. Nice pass, easy two.
That's exactly why Lela Palau is one of the best assist leaders, let's say, because
Great pass, poor finish. Layups there, take it, make it and take it strong. Anna Cruz, you will not get many open layup opportunities, so the ones you get, you have to take. And Cruz will roll it, throw it away. Stramani in the game. Hasn't had a lot of minutes this tournament so far. And Filiaku just drains the three. Well, whatever she found 2 nights ago, she's brought it tonight. Zargai going left. Well, hand off. Cruz. Weight of pass is tremendous, but Indoor blows the layup. Spain will retain it.
We see that Spanish offense is based on the pick and rolls, simple pick and rolls. Here we see that three of Elena Dikalaku. You just give a little space, and she's feeling it. She's been on fire previous 2 games, so why she wouldn't take it?
Zargai just held her space, blows the layup. Buvali looks to push. Yaku wants and gets. Floats it inside, great pass, great execution. Ayla Brumane with the 2. It's all about transition. Zargai moves it on. Nichols looks high-low, it's not there. Cruz for the easy 2.
We see Brumane just standing and looking at that penetration of Anna Cruz. You want to put your body in her way to at least make it more difficult for her.
Pulvare outside the 3-point line. Riaku comes off of the screen, there's no help, so Christina goes to work but can't get the finish, and the ball will somehow go back to Spain, as she again had the opportunity to get to show a little composure, and the play is going to get finished. Blumane will sit. Dente Malinka will check in, as does Silvia Dominguez and Maria Pina. Cruz puts it on the floor. Wow, they exploited the mismatch, and Nichols just finishes easily.
That was an experienced way how to really patiently move the ball into the mismatch position, which has been created by that simple pick and roll again.
Nice cut, the pass was there, and the layup was begging, but the poor pass from Malinka had no feel on it, overpassed. Ball out of bounds, Spain with a chance to build on the 3-point lead.
This is that great lob pass on Laura Nichols when she had Pulvera on her back.
Dominguez into the half court. Nichols again, automatic reversal to a ball screen. Nice job defensively by Latvia, and they switch and rotate. Nichols trying to go to work, turns it over, recovers it, finds Endur for the 2. She just doesn't stop working, is Laura Nichols. Iliaku. No one stops her, she's going one way. Nichols just blocks it, but they stay with her. Malinka gets the 2, great recognition. Pulvare saw that Nichols was celebrating basically on the block, just threw it to her open teammate for 2.
Yeah, you don't want to give up any position against the home nation because they're going to go for it.
Pina gets it to Cruz with a long 2, is short. Pulvare comes down with the rebound. Crowd not loving the contact. Nice pass. Recognize the mismatch, exploit the mismatch, and Latvia out Spain. 13-12, 3 to go in the first. Endur, automatic reversal for Spain, holding foul away from the ball. Pulvare gives a very rueful smile.
Yeah, because they know, Latvia knows this is that block and celebration after. But to be honest, I think that Melnika really put herself into the good position, suiting her as a type of player, because she's not a player who's going to be dribbling too much. She's just going to be under the basket, and she's athletic enough to jump for that lob pass to get easy too.
Jakobsoni checks in for Deliaku. Sony did a nice job coming in late on limited minutes against the Ukraine. Dominguez nowhere to go, and everybody stayed where they should. And Dominguez fouls on the recovery. I think there's about 2,800 referees who called that call. A couple of hundred Spanish guys weren't necessarily happy with it, but we've got a lot of referees in the gym.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't the last call we will hear. The
sure.
crowd shouting like this.
they're all perfect referees in the crowd too. Kreslina, who is important against Ukraine and is important tonight, needs to take some of the scoring load. Jakobsoni. Mane is long. The Syracuse University undergrad. Ulvina, who was energy personified against Great Britain. Endor blows the two-footer.
Love to give it inside what happened, but I'm not pretty sure, to be honest.
No, whatever happened, Ashton Endor's on the free throw line for the two shots, as Latvia are in the penalty, and Endor is having a very good tournament from the free throw line. The successful teams have had successful days at the free throw line in every game.
Yeah.
Endor 2 for 2.
Spanish team so far shooting 73% from the line.
Jakobsoni could have gone. Dominguez was after that from the moment she chased. She was always going to have a little stab at it. 16 seconds on the possession. Latvia on the baseline. Lara Nichols coming back. Has to endure. Steps out. That's the normal rotation with Lara Gill, who's been in the game for a couple of minutes now. If you don't come to meet the ball against the Spanish defense, they will take it. They will get in the lane.
Can we see the intention since first minute of this game that the Spanish players really staying in the passing line to try to enable those easy passes between Latvian players?
Skip to Kreslina, who challenges on the dribble. Now she needs a pass. Malinkin high. 3.2. Kreslina goes to the glass. Blows the layup. Quite possibly harder to miss that layup, actually, because she did everything right. She got right to the ring, had a great angle.
And I think this is the third layup that the Latvian team has already missed in this first quarter, and it could really cost them a game because they could have been way ahead of the Spanish team.
Well, Kreslina seems to have really built on her performance, especially in the fourth quarter against Ukraine. Goes 2 for 2 from the line, and Latvia have the 1-point lead.
We see a full court pressing now from Latvian team. Try to slow down the Spanish offense. Got valuable seconds.
Ovina off the screen, didn't turn the corner, comes back to the middle, needs a pass. Dominguez puts it on the floor, 5 on the shot. Gets in a lot of traffic, and Latvia come away with the steal. Jakobsoni leads the break, looking confident. Skips it, Kreslina wraps it inside. Squamane going to work, the youngster. Tries to step through, goes with a jump hook, he's short. And Ulvina's off to the races, and this is a slight, she's so quick down the floor. Gets to the ring, reverse layup, blows it. Lara Gill, and everybody's on the floor, whistle on the play. Foul call on Lara Gill, and we will move the floor for 2 shots. And that's a really nice contribution for Amani. She will go back to school at Syracuse for a 3rd year. In fact, that was the 4th, not the 5th team foul. Jakobsoni, middle opens up until Ovina just stepped in, going the same way. Little hesitation, needs a pass, somehow finds, well, she thought she found a pass in the lane, but Laura Nichols just stays in stance, makes herself so big. .103 to go in 1. Tough little baseline jumper is no good. It's all about touch and feel, and Ovina's off to the races again. This is so quick on the break. Pina, a little ball fake, is fouled on her way to going up. She'll go to the free throw line. And this game has some pace.
Yeah, definitely. It has tempo, it has wide intensity, offensively and defensively. The Spanish team is quite famous with that quick transition offense as well, and Ovina is one of the quickest guards I've seen. And if you really want to stop the break, you gotta pick up the ball early and not to allow her to dribble all the way through, just to give this little assist.
So we have a new ball game at 15 apiece with just over 40 seconds to go in 1. Jakobsoni looks to get in the little hole under the screen, gets to the foul line, drops it inside.
Beautiful.
Nice play. Just created a drive lane which had to be filled, and as soon as it was filled, Malinka just went into the gap. Nice find. Dominguez tries to manufacture a shot, gets nothing. And this Latvian team playing with real intent and real physicality at the moment. Trying to build on the 2-point lead. Shot clock is around, well, less than a second almost. Difference between the shot clock and game clock. Deflection, not what you need. Ovina for 2. How quick is Christina Ovina? Just absolute pace into the game as soon as she hits the floor. And that leaves us with a tied game, 17 apiece. Many lead changes, a lot of pace in the game. Latvia and Spain locked at 17 all. Quick look at the stats on the summary. 46 against 33. Everything else pretty similar. And we're tied at 17 at the end of 1. While Triza back inside the Riga Arena, you've got to give some credit here to Latvia, because they've come out, and if they'd have finished some plays, they could have been looking at a 3, 4, 5-point lead here.
Yeah, absolutely. The courage they play with against this reigning champion is really obvious and amazing. They know, because obviously the home crown is their 6th player today, and they leading them energy-wise to go and push the ball to the quick transitions before the Spain even have time to set up their defense. And I think it's not just all about the Elina Bikailaku in today's game. I really like the contribution of the other players, either if it's Kraslina, Pulvere, or Zamelnica. So that's really promising, because you can't beat a Spanish team in one player. So it's really important that loads of players has contributed really early in this game against Spanish teams.
Well, the key for any team trying to play a number 2 in the world is to try and be consistent and maintain your effort. I think starts of quarters are going to be absolutely vital for Latvia. Giliaku is back in the game, having had some really worthwhile minutes on the floor, but Albina's being left in the game, quite rightly, because she's been so efficient and effective. But La Palau's back, and Endure and Nichols fill the middle. So Liaku with Palau, who just never leaves you alone. Liaku gets inside, little floater, and if anyone knows how to milk the crowd in this Riga arena, it's Hilaire de Liaku. Just stopped in the lane and waited almost to get hit and then put the shot up.
Yeah, again, it's the experiences she speaks out, because she has plenty of experiences and she knew that she has Leila Palau on her back.
Laura Nichols will reverse it. Olvina opens herself, opens her body, finds Endure, foul line jump shot. Nichols is just dominant. Got position, didn't even think about jumping until she needed to, held the space, was always going to gather in that rebound.
Yeah, and I think for Pila Berra, this is a great learning lesson. When you start to play her when the ball is in the air, it's too late almost, because Laura Nichols is such a strong player to build the position before she even gets that rebound. So you're going to really play her physically in that position.
Nichols makes the first. She goes 2 for 2. Knots the game again at 19. So Spain, they know they're in a game now, up the floor, trying to play some full court, man-to-man. Liaku is a handful, especially with the confidence she has at the moment. She'll come back to the basketball. They open up the drive lane for her. And Olvina is just as good as you find in terms of speed. You know, she burst onto the Spanish national team 2013 and was so quick. Has been in and out ever since, but you can see how effective she is. Nice long side pass. And Provide looks at the referee and saying, "Did you see me being pushed and held?" And now Palau just ignores all that and advances the basketball. Well, both coach well. Lucas Mondelo in particular, really challenging the official. Great rotation. Biliaku throws it away in transition, but it'll be recovered. And the one thing you're going to say about one of the best officials in world basketball, Yasmina Ulax, she knew she got it wrong. She knew the right call, just pointed the wrong way.
Yeah,
and automatically indicated that.
And that's what makes big referees. They are able to admit themselves that they are wrong, and that's why she's so successful as an official.
One of the best. And Urbina is just so effective. Again, generates a turnover. Spain 3-on-2 on the break. Pina for 2, gets the drop, and that's how you turn defense into offense. And Cristina Urbina is literally putting on a clinic of how to play defense.
How to play defense and how to run transition off that steal or off that quick grab of the ball. We know why USK Prague has picked her for a coming EuroLeague season right now, because she has such much offensively and defensively to offer.
Well, Zibarts takes the timeout because I think Latvia almost got a little too quick for themselves on the last couple of possessions, even though their defense generated steals. So, interesting to see how he comes back after this timeout.
Yeah, I think if Latvia is going to keep moving offensively, they definitely have a chance to generate some kind of weaker spot in the Spanish defense. So they really have to keep running the floor. They have to keep moving on their offensive half and make sure that the defensive players of Spain are on the movement.
So Spain up the floor again. Pressure released. Zlatamane will advance it. She has one of those toughest matchups in world basketball. Marta Zagai guiding her. Pulveri had the opportunity to stop and pop, turned it down. Now turns the corner, needs a pass and finds one. Nichols, great defense, but the easy two off the pass is knocked down by Abrumane. Aya Abrumane with the two. Knocks the game again at 21. Nichols looks underneath. Great pass. Endor should and does.
It's been a great backdoor play from Melina to recognizing that passing lane, and she was wide open to deliver this easy pass for Endor under the rim.
Slow-mo again helps us. Doesn't help the official, obviously, because he doesn't have one, but
yeah, but
minimal
important.
Contact, but
yeah.
definitely not a push.
Yeah, definitely the minimum, but it's been there.
Endor completes the three-point play. Spain enjoy their biggest lead for a while, which is a three-point lead. That tells you everything you need to know about how tight this game is. Lau Palau just does not let you settle. She's going to go after you the whole time. Uvele needs a pass, finds one. Iliaku, great screen, wide open for two, can't knock it down. Endor just grabs it and Spain run. Olvina slipped a little on the court. Spain will have the possession. Nonika will check back in for Latvia. Palau out of bounds, just drops the two. The mid-range two she really has. Probably got as much rhythm on that jump shot as she's had for a long time. Deliaku is pushed and fouled by Ulvina. And the referees do have to be careful with it, because you can't stop Ulvina playing defense. You just have to make sure she stays absolutely within the rules. She gonna sit down. Anna Cruz is back. Spain insert their starting lineup back into the game with 7:18 to go in the half. Deliaku will get the ball screen. Stromane can't knock down the three, and she is normally a very, very proficient perimeter shooter. Anna Cruz, Zagai. Zagai wraps it to Nichols. Little turnaround off the glass. Endor, what a board. What a rebound. Just owned it.
Yeah. Simple hustle on the board again, and Zenta Melnika really needs to box her out.
Yeah, Latvia missed a couple. All of a sudden, it's a 7-point game. Drops it inside. Malinka drops it back out. Repositions. Goes to work inside. Goes back to the right hand to the hook. And Endor's just too big, too strong, too everything. Zagai attacks it. Right hand knocks away, but stays with the play. And the ball will go to Latvia.
This was quite good officiating right now, not to call anything when Elena Dikalaku was standing with her hand out, because that would have been her third personal foul, and that wouldn't be good, too good for Latvia. So great no call at the moment, not because of that, but because she was really in the position.
I do think there comes a point when the officials do have to call it the way they have, because there's a little bit too much now physicality from Spain. The officials trying to control it, and La Palau has to sit. Silvia Dominga.
Yeah, but this is the advantage Spanish coach Mondello has, because he has so many players into the rotation, so he can afford to play physical and see if some of his players gonna pick up early fouls or not.
Laura Nichols leads the break. That doesn't happen very often. Marta Zagai drops it into Indoor, who reverses. Sylvia Dominguez. Nichols will come high. They look high-low, no option. Love the way the defense is being played down low. A lot of body, a lot of very legal. Jacobsoni will chase it down. Indoor steps up. Nika needs a pass because she's going to feel that double team. Rotation by Cruz and foul on the play.
Yeah, and this comes to my point what I've done earlier about Nika. She's not that player who will create with the dribbling and stuff. So Latvian offense needs to make sure they do play pick and roll with her and wait for her to set up her position down under the rim. So it's a great hustle and double from the Spanish defense when they have been disadvantaged with that mismatch, when Astu Andur has recovered quickly to trap Nika to force her into that turnover.
Dominguez into the half court. Indoor will flare. They leave her out of the middle at the moment, leaving space for Laura Nichols, and goes to the corner. Cruz. They open up the lane for Anna Cruz, doesn't get it. Indoor just crashes and picks up yet another offensive rebound, and it's getting a little nasty now for Latvia. They trail 9. They've got to stop the bleeding and stop it quickly. Shamani, nice pass. And Puvari, for whatever reason, went with her right hand and blew it. But the Spanish defense forces you to make great plays almost every possession. Astor Indoor is no good. And that's how to box out. Kreslina leads the break for Latvia and pushes. Little hesitation. Will back out now. Nice pass to the inside. Unica goes to the left hand. He's blocked. And Spain are playing at such an intensity that Indoor literally asked Coach Mondello to come out. He said, why? You know, you're doing a great job. Stay in. Nika goes to work the other way this time. Tough move. And you've got to give her so much credit for staying with it, playing within the moves, the talent she has. Finishes the play strongly. 7-point game, 30-23. Zagai will face it and move it. Cruz. Latvia responding really well here, picking it up defensively. Dominguez tries to spin to the lane. Leans away, doesn't get the two. Unica comes down with it. And Jacobsoni pushes behind the back. Oh, I'd love it. Pulveri just has to knock this down. Everyone's going to stand up.
Look at that hustle again.
Indoor's going to throw it away, and you've got to credit the defensive effort, and this crowd responding to the effort too. And Lucas Mondello wants to talk it over again. So it's an interesting way that some coaches get a little bit more leeway with referees.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
you earn
that's
it.
Just how it is.
Yeah,
you earn it for sure. But what I really like now that Latvia has responded to that aggressive defense of Spain with the same aggressivity, and it obviously brings them a couple of quick transitions, and it's a shame that Pulveri hasn't hit that three, because I think we would have seen every single person in this arena on their feet.
Absolutely right. I think if they should have made that three, we'd have had to stop to still be quieting down. It's been too loud, because with the behind the back and the little look away, looking good. Crowd love that stuff.
Yeah, we see stats of fast break points and points in the paint quite even. I think the difference is really that Spain has been running really well the transition offense and using it, and also that the Latvian team has given up 6 offensive rebounds for Spanish team who has been punishing it with the 2 points. But so far, pretty impressive performance from both teams. Really high tempo, high intensity, and I think that's what the crowd is enjoying at the moment.
Great shots of the crowd here. It's pretty full on both sides. Crowd on both ends as well. Jakubsoni, guarded by Silva Dominguez. Kreslina looks at it, doesn't want to let it go. Inside, Malinka again, Laura Nichols going one-on-one at it. Ball's knocked away. Plenty of time, or 7 seconds there anyway. Kreslina puts it on the floor, tries to spin, steps through, travels.
And again, great defensive possession from Spanish team individual, let's say. It wasn't really anything as a team defense, but Laura Nichols tipped that ball off the hands of Santa Melnica, and then Laura Gill played great one-on-one defense on Kreslina. It's a great effort put it in by Spanish players defensively.
Marta Zargai leaves the game. Christina Urbina really growing in a role in this rotation, steps back in. Lifts, lines up the three, way short, but gets her own rebound. It's blocked. Malika just comes up with a big defensive play as Kreslina leads the break. Brubare, who just has an amazing engine, she just keeps going for this team. Lob to the inside, and the foul.
It's a shame.
3 second call.
Because Santa Melnica had Ana Cruz on her back like for a really long time, and it took time the Latvian offense to even recognize it and deliver that pass over there.
Unfortunate call by the Belgian official for Latvia. The 3 second call. She was in there for a while. Cruz shakes and bakes and makes the 2. Little head and shoulder and a crossover. So Mane hasn't had a lot of time. It really has grown into this. Lara Gill wants a piece, doesn't get it. Jakubsoni, Spain just contest everything, relentless in their pressure. Jakubsoni off the glass, doesn't get the drop, and they've just got to drop. Urbina pushes in intensity, and there's a pace to this. Nichols. Dominguez will reverse it. Cruz in the lane, stops and pops and doesn't get the drop as off Latvia go again. Jakubsoni will push, he's relentless in here. Turns the corner, foul line, pops the jump shot for 2.
Good minutes from Jakubsoni in today's game, while Elina Dikalakum must be on the bench due to a little bit foul troubles. But to be honest, Coach de Boers doesn't have any reason to switch right now, because the 5 on the court is really playing with the high tempo and being quite effective.
Travel call on Laura Nichols. And Nichols is going to check back in. Nichols will step out, Pulvari will step out. I mean, the one advantage when Spain put this much pressure on is if you do beat the player pressurizing you, everyone's in a lane, there's less help. And Jakubsoni just got into a little pocket of space, stopped and popped. Indoors coming back, Nichols is going to sit. And Laura Gill just gives Spain that little, enough of a rotation on the inside that they've got the 3 players. Oh, and Indoor just hunted it. A little sloppy on the catch. Pubere was just a little too casual. Dominguez is fouled as she tried to turn the corner, but an offensive foul called. I don't know what you think, Teresa, but from a personal perspective, Spain generating the physicality, Latvia responding to it. Well, what do they expect? It's got to be, if that's the game, it's going to be a set. There's going to be a lot of contact both ways.
Yeah, I think what's most important is that it's consistent, and I think that's why the players and officials can adjust as well, so there's no surprises if they call some or not.
Dropped inside, off the glass is no good, and it will be to Spain. Because Coach Mondello's getting a little bit animated on the side, believing his players are being given too much physicality. But I think his team plays great defense in a physical way. So if that's the game we're having, It's got to be both ways.
To be honest, I think from Spanish team, it's the best half they've had at this tournament so far. And then we've seen them to be rotating quite a lot the first half, but being quite slow. But in today's game, they came and showed a quite intensive game.
Endor stops and takes the two, doesn't get the drop. Nichols is on the glass, goes back up for two, doesn't get the drop. Body's on the floor. You've got to love the commitment. Jakobsoni into the half court. Diliaku is off the point, which is good for her. Goes baseline, wraps the pass. A little bit too much pace on it. The option was fine, but too much pace. Cruz
and one,
and they've called it unsportsmanlike as well. I'm not sure where they called it, whether they called it before the shot or not, but I thought it happened possibly before the action to the basket, and they're going to look at it.
Yeah, and this is the beauty of technology we have, and officials can double check if they have been correct in their decision.
There's the unsportsmanlike foul, but she had picked the ball up. That really should be the two. Basket good, the one plus the possession. Looked to me like she picked it up. I'm not sure how they're going to call it. There's one shot, I think.
So it seems like it hasn't been unsportsman foul.
It's not unsportsmanlike, it's an M1.
We still give 3 seconds to Latvia to, if obviously Spain's going to make, or...
And the trouble you've got here is that I don't know how much better Latvia can play. They've missed some easy shots. They're going to end up 10 down playing great, or in terms of great intensity, if not great execution.
Yeah, definitely this first half, I think Latvia can keep their head up because they've been really competing against the Spanish team, playing such, I would say, best half they've showed at this tournament so far. So being down by 9 points at the moment, I think that everything is open for the second half.
Well, the referee's just trying to resolve exactly where we are. Coach Mondella wants to get involved in that conversation, but I don't think the...
We can see that Coach Mondella is instructing his players already now for that last 3.7 seconds of this first half, because he believes that Ana Cruz is going to score. So we're probably going to see the Spanish defense to be a little bit up the floor again, try to slow down Latvian offense.
This is those moments where if technology was a little further, you could get a little more information, because the crowd have no idea what's going on, apart from the fact there's something going on.
Yeah, I think the substitution which has been made, I think, has to be returned.
Why? Well, Ana Cruz to complete the three-point play and give Spain a 10-point advantage, which she does. And Latvia were always going to take the timeout. They have one to take with 3.7 to go. Would give him a chance to take Diliaku out if he wanted to.
Yeah, obviously Coach Martin Zibar's trying to make sure that his team's going to score this last 3.7 seconds of this half to give them that mental momentum into the second half.
So 3.7 seconds for Latvia to try and manufacture as good a shot as they can get going into the half. If they could get something away, that will be a big, big bonus, mentally as much as anything else. And Lucas Mondello will ensure, or try and ensure, that doesn't happen.
Everybody under the sound of my voice, raise your hands and believe in love. If you believe.
Marta Zagai will check back in as Spain try and go as small and as quick as they can. 5 guard-related players showing almost just a little zone-type defense over the three-quarter court.
Here we see the importance Coach Lucas Mondello is putting into this defensive possession of Spain, keeping and putting all short guards on the court who are way more movable, let's say, than big players of Latvian team to be able to cover any penetration. No. With movable, Laura Nicholson.
And after all that, 3.7 seconds does not result in a basket for Spain. So at the half, Spain have just relentlessly pulled out a 10-point lead. Their defensive effort was phenomenal. The struggle for Latvia to get shots away ultimately has cost them that 10-point advantage. They missed a couple of real easy gimmies. Rebound-wise, 5 offensive rebounds for Spain accounts for the difference as much as anything else. Everything else is relatively tight. But what it gives us going into the half is Spain a half away from winning the group. Endor with 12, Cruz with 7, Nichols with 6. So they're trying to spread it out. We're going to leave you with some highlights of the first half, and we'll be back in around 10 minutes to see if Latvia can pull off a tremendous comeback, or Spain will just win the group. We'll see you soon.
Un novēlam veiksmīgi pabeigt ar rekrutācijas procesu un atgriezties Latvijas valsts vienības ierindās. Vēlreiz skaļi aplausi Kitī Laksa un Artur Žagars. Un tagad, dārgie draugi, man ir tas gods uz šī brīnišķīgā EuroBasket laukuma. Šeit pašā centrā jūs sveikt ar brīnišķīgu priekšnesumu no mūsu skaistajām Latvijas voices. Lūdzu.
I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. You wear the sun. Girls power, United and Riga from Latvia voices.
Labvakar, paši fantastiskākie fani! Jūs zināt, jums liels uzdevums, jo tik skaļi, cik jūs dziedāsiet, tik liela būs Latvijas uzvara šurka.
Lieliskais starpdzīvā. 8-0. Pretinieku treneris ir uzvilcies par zelta Meļņikā.
Nabovic really feeling it here, moves it on to Brooks, who's started to feel it as well.
On Stokes, now the pass up ahead, and great running by Slovenia.
Still a chance to throw it up here for Bentley. Alex Bentley beating the buzzer at the half, and Belarus. What a backlash from them. Have to shoot. It's Messerman for three, gets Belgium back in business to beat the buzzer.
Go upstairs. Little simple, little sucker punch, but when you've got to endure her athleticism.
Paldies, Latvia and voices, dargie draugi, bet mēs atgriežamies jau burtiski pāris soļi no spēles turpinājuma. Un tad, jā, nu ko, Latvijai liels brīnums ne, bet nu, tāds liels darbiņš jāizdara. -10, jeb šur 10 punktu deficīts, un to var izdarīt vienīgi kopā ar 6. spēlētāju. Tā kā, dargie draugi, saņemam sev rokās, saņemam balss saites, kā saka, sagatavojam vislabākajā kondīcijā un gaidām spēles otro nogriezni.
Well, welcome back inside the Riga Arena, Latvia, the host nation of this stage of EuroBasket Women 2019. Really did put on a good performance in that first half, but just failed to complete plays. You know, it wasn't just the contested ones where Endura and Nichols really did play big underneath. They just could not complete plays where they were literally wide. You know, there was some easy layups. They got good performances off the bench, but 25 points doesn't actually do them justice because they created many more opportunities than that. Yeah,
I can only agree, and I think the one thing what they probably will focus to improve in that second half is that defensive rebounding, because giving 8 offensive rebounds to Spanish team, it's a luxury, let's say, because Spanish team is aggressive enough to go and punish it, and they have sent the Spanish team to the line 9 times, which is the difference as well. Here 8 points of Zenta Melnika, again another great performance of this center of Latvia. I think she has been effective no matter, she has been brave enough to keep playing even if she's gonna miss some opportunities against experienced as to endure, and I think that's really positive factor for Latvian team for the second half.
Yep, she was exceptionally good at times. She stayed with it. Endure would block her. She'd go back up. She made solid moves. You know, she's one of the players to have really stepped up for Latvia. With obviously with Vitola being injured, etc., etc. So that's a real positive then, regardless of how deep they go into EuroBasket Women, because there is always going to be that changeover of generations.
Yeah, and also what I'm pleased to see that they're really dealing well with that physicality of the Spanish defense, because Spanish team really step into this game, sending the message that they're not going to give anything for free to this home nation of Latvia in today's game, and I think the fact that they has adjusted to it also brought them some opportunities into quick breaks to run and overplay the Spanish defense before they even have time to set it up. And I think they need to keep the intensity high and avoid any easy turnovers, which would Spanish team obviously punish.
Well, just minutes ago before the start of this third quarter, this crowd have been superb in the way that they've got behind the home team. A nice little start to the third, you know, cutting it to a 6-point game or something of that nature would really engage the crowd. If that gets going, then who knows what Latvia could do in the second half.
Yeah, while you're playing a home nation, you really don't want to give them to breathe, or you don't gonna give them that little, let's say, taste of opportunity to take the win in this game. And I think that's what the Spanish team is gonna focus on: keep the intensity high, aggressivity, try to make Latvian team to work twice harder for everything they want to do, and not allow any drama in this game.
Well, both teams are making their way back onto the floor. For the benefit of the game being tight, we really love this Latvian team to start well, to keep it in single digits, so we have a game going on. The last thing that the crowd want, or we want up to a point, is Spain steamrolling in the beginning of the third. And it will be, once we clarify the table, Latvia in possession at the start of this second half. A good start is absolutely vital. A look underneath, they get a reversal. Tomani going inside, hit on the way up. Spain into the half court. Endur on the inside for two, doesn't get the drop. And Latvia dodged the bullet. Ball reverse was good. Bulvari gets to the foul line, little lob pass. That is how you recover defensively by Anna Cruz. Absolute phenomenal effort at the defensive end. Now just drops it. Great rotation as well. Defensively, both teams really putting on a great display of how to help each other.
Yeah, you see that both teams really step into this third quarter well focused, well prepared, and knowing that they can't be making easy mistakes.
Cruz down low. Palau didn't like the options. Creates space for Laura Nichols. Going to work to the middle, right side of the ring. Does not get the drop. Liaku in transition, gives it up. Bulberi thought about putting it up and is fouled. Pina gets a start in this second half instead of Marta Zagai.
Yeah, I think this is quite unnecessary foul from Pina because, yeah, she has lost her position, but she had another three teammates set it in defense, so there was nowhere Pulvera could go.
Pulvera gets it on the ball reversal, looks inside, nice seal. In fact, she had an easier shot than that. Went to the front of the ring and really could have just finished when she caught the ball through Mane. Anna Cruz looks inside. Endur puts it on the floor. Ball's lost again. And you've got to give so much credit to this Latvian defense because they are just... Pina fell to the floor. Let's have a look. Oh.
Yeah, just to finish your thought, Mog, because obviously Pulvera was guarding us to Endur, and she was brave enough to take that dribble, so there's no way that short player would steal that ball.
La Palau. Ball screen for Endur. In fact, they don't really execute it that well, but Palau drops the ball inside to Nichols. That's a pass. That's a pass that just requires you to move and finish. Yeah. Points on a plate for Laura Nichols. All because La Palau just timed and the pass feel was tremendous. Pulvari for the long two. Tries to get her own rebound, doesn't get it. Nichols cleans up. La Palau wants to run. Stops, fires up the two, gets her own rebound, knocks it to Endur. Anna Cruz on the dribble, going to the baseline, needs a pass, steps on the, gets a foul.
And this sound of the arena tells you that the home crowd thinks of that core. This is that great pass because Laura Nichols has faked that she could set the screen for Leila Palau and slip down, recognizing that his defender already went for the hatch.
Palau gets in the lane, floats it, is short.
Oh.
Great effort. It's just a phenomenal effort. Every team should have a Laura Nichols on it because she just works so hard.
Yeah, she definitely outworks loads of opponents, just the way she is, how much heart she puts into any action on the court.
Well, defense is definitely the winner at the start of the third, only 2 points in the first 3 minutes. Monika with the ball screen, Bulvari really could have shot it, could have dumped it. Not an angle for the pass at all. Nichols gets a deflection. Palau, little hesitation, drops it to Anna Cruz. To the lane, doesn't get it. Nichols keeps it alive. It didn't hit anything, that's a 24.
Yeah,
Latvia just need that little composure to score, and then they're right back in this.
Absolutely, and it's such important because obviously we've seen only 2 points in this quarter from Spanish team, and it's been almost 4 minutes into this third quarter. It just tells you how focused both teams are defensively.
Uldere will reverse the basketball. Iliaku drops it inside. Lets the three go, drops it.
Yeah, in and out. That's been great recovery from Asto Endur on Rumermane.
Holding foul. Kristalina picks up her second foul. Anna Cruz. Palau, time and space, and drops the three. As well as La Palau has played for a while. Jacob Sony needs a pass, and now there's a whistle. Substitutions coming in for Latvia. Nastro Amane checks in. Texoni. Sorry, Paulina gets into the lane, tries to scoop one. Oh, nice finish. And we're back to a 10-point game. On a little far side of the ring penetration by Lara Purina, as Andur just looks every inch the quality player. Iliaku, little step through for two is no good. Palau into the keyway, drops it to Nichols, extra pass. Penna just doesn't think about the three, gets it to Cruz, who thinks about scoring every time she has it. Whistle on the play.
I think right now Lara Nichols a little bit overcomplicated that offense because she's wide open for the jump shot after the assist of Leila Palau. Even though Spanish offense drawn that defense, but it has been a great combination again of Lara Nichols and Asto Endur. But if you open, why not to take it? That's my question. At the moment, it seems like Spanish team is really playing quite with the flow and lightness, and then Latvian team needs to really work hard to score any basket.
Nichols on the glass, somehow doesn't quite hang on this. And Uvina's back in the game, so all of a sudden the quickness just goes up, and you've got Marta Zargai and Uvina on the floor together, which means defensively you just have your hands full because those two play defense. Zargai will move it on. La Palau looks to Nichols. The pass was there, they didn't quite finish it. Nichols almost keeps it alive. Silvia Dominguez is going to check in, I assume, for La Palau.
Yeah, it's been another great look from La Palau. She knows that more defense is focused on that strong side, but she always keeps an eye on that weak side move. And they've been playing together with Launa Nichols for ages, so they know each other very well for these unexpected movements.
Strofamane will advance it. Really does have a great skill set for a big. Bekapsoni has already shown she has no fear. And Uvina's everywhere. Absolutely 100% everywhere. Onika doesn't like the foul call, but when you're scrambling around for it, you're likely to foul. We are going to have to walk the floor now for 2 free throws.
Yeah, that's the buffer again. Obviously, that wasn't anything intentional, but you have to jump back on your feet as soon as possible and not to try to steal from the floor, even though there hasn't been any unnecessary movement by hands. But 2 free throws for Arena for that effort again, rewarded.
Ulvina, who as these 3 games have progressed here in Riga, has become more and more of a key factor for Coach Mondello. Really gives him real energy off the bench. Well, obviously has the ability to play at the other end too, but defensively, just so quick. Her, Cruz, Zargai. It's a combination of defensive options for Coach Mondello. Jakobsoni takes a little hit and called on the floor. Nichols acknowledges the foul.
Yeah, really seen the hand of Laura Nichols and Jakobson's body.
Kreslina will inbound. Baseline penetration. Mane, turnover. Uvina again. So she's been in 2 steals and a rebound, and now a turnover. So that's the first negative stat. Jakobsoni going baseline, needs a pass. Dominguez almost stole it. Down the middle. Drop Mane for the 2. Nice play. Super finish by.
We haven't seen at this tournament too much that weak side cuts towards to the ball, but this has been a great example from Start Mane to cut from weak side towards to the ball and be wide open.
Dominguez drops to the top of the D, doesn't get the roll. Nichols is after it again, and she's looking to take photographs. She's in there with the photographers now.
Oh.
She's helping the little floor wiper up.
I think that little boy is going to have a great experience, let's say.
Well, I'm sure a photographer's got a great picture of that too. And you should let the young man have a picture. 12-point game. Latvia just will not die. They will not go away. Jakobsoni, wide open 2, doesn't get the job. Nika Kreslina for 3, got it! We're back to single digits here in Riga. And this crowd really believe here that their team has a shot at this. They just go possession by possession, little zone. They have to scramble across, unanswered. Zargai in that spot in the corner that has Marta Zargai's name on it. Both coaches not happy with the officials on that side. Bart's chased him for that one. Oh. Nice look, but what a rotation. Uvina again. That's 3 steals just by being quick and reading plays. To the hoop, drops it down inside the gill, extra pass. Zargai from this side of the floor. Doesn't get the drop.
And another one for Uvina. It becomes a little bit physical right now, bodies on the floor. And
but at the start of this quarter, the referees called everything. Dominguez. Zargai with 6 seconds on it. Uvina attacks the space, little floater in the lane. Whistle on the play.
And Latvia Flames now. This is Kristina's 3 after another great offensive glass effort for Santa Melnica. And that's the response of Marta Zargai from the corner. It's tough. When you finally hit the shot, then you get the response straight away from the team. It's tough mentally. But I'm really pleased to see still that intensity from Latvian team, offensively and defensively, to be coping with the aggressivity of Spanish defense.
Uvina is 2 for 2, and as every time she comes into the game, things happen. Good, bad, indifferent, it doesn't matter. Something's going to happen. Kreslina beats the pressure. Unika. Jakobsoni gets the handoff and has a look at her options. Will take the ball screen. Brafmane picks and pops, doesn't get it. Zargai's after it. Only 2.5. They have to take a real long one. I don't know why the buzzer went off. It did hit the ring, but Spain will bring it. Rovina checks with Coach Mondello what he wants. Zargai will relieve that pressure. Rovina again breaks it down, drops it inside, and Latvia just swarm around the ball.
Straight away, 3 players on the ball. It's been a great idea from Rovina to drop that low pass, but if you're on the fire, take that shot.
Timeout call while you get a look at the replay.
Here we were talking about Kristina Uina so far, her performance 6 points, but with more 4 rebounds, 4 assists and 5 steals. And it just tells you how effective she is defensively to grab the rebounds, have a 5 steals, anticipating the game.
Well, neither team will be totally pleased with their shooting percentages, but Spain really are in control.
And to be honest, I think from both sides, that aggressive defense really affects the percentage shooting-wise, because they really need to work hard for every shot. But those 14 steals against the 5 from Latvia tells you how much Spanish defense reads the game to try to kind of fish the Latvian team to these steals and punishing them in the quick breaks.
Yeah, 14 steals is a huge number. Coach Mondello. And we called a timeout again. I think it was either that or they attacked him for taking too long to come back on the floor. So he had to take the second timeout.
Yeah, I think we can see that Coach Mondello doesn't like that.
I think he's going to spend this minute talking to the table about it.
Yeah.
Well, the commissioner, that's why the commissioner's there.
Anyway, we have 22 seconds to go.
So Spain take a timeout.
Yeah.
Gives the dancers another chance to get onto the floor while we take a look in Coach Mondello's timeout. While the rebound numbers also favour Spain, 11 offensive and 20 defensive rebounds give them a 7 rebound advantage over Latvia.
Yeah, I think one element with Latvia would be happy is those 20 turnovers so far in this game, which is really high number, even though there is buffer, but that's game-changing at the moment because Spain is such quick to punish these turnovers, and being basically 14 down in the end of the third quarter, yeah, those turnovers are definitely a negative element of Latvian game at the moment.
So Spain trying to, let's just say, hammer home the advantage. Enduro has it. So we had 2 timeouts that led to a 24-second violation in the corner.
And Astu Enduro ends up with the first pass behind the 3-point line in the corner. That's why I think you should spend time more on timeout.
Spain up the floor. Latvia trying to cut into the 14-point advantage. 16 seconds left in the first half. Liaku Rovina checks the time on the clock. Liaku penetrates, turns it over, hits the floor, looks up and says, what happened there? Dominguez can't get it to drop. And at the end of the third, Spain have increased the margin to 14. This is not done because Latvia's defense has given them enough opportunities. What it needs is Latvia to start connecting with more of their offense, 40 and 33%. See, Spain's numbers are not great, but they have just out-rebounded and have got so many more shots than the Latvian team. So, start of the fourth. Well, 1 minute left of the quarter break. And Latvia have a stiff task ahead of them if they're going to get back in this game. They trail full team. They just need to take care of the ball and finish plays, and they're right in it. That's dead easy for me to say. But when you're playing against the Spanish team with the talent they have defensively, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I can only agree, Mark, because obviously Latvian team having 20 turnovers and Spanish team to have 15 steals. That's a big difference, and that's why they have got 11 times more possessions than the Latvian team, and you don't want to give the team like a Spain 11 times more chances to score, and I think that's for now the game changer, because the intensity, the tempo, the aggressivity defensively and offensively, I think they are quite even, and I'm pleased to see that the team like Latvia doesn't give up and they really fight Spain back.
Well, 10 minutes. I think it's telling. Iliaku doesn't start. When does Zibarts worry about tomorrow, not tonight? Because he has the opportunity to progress to Belgrade with a win tomorrow. He does not want to leave all his efforts on the floor today if he's going to lose this. Akimsoni into the half court. Starmani was given a decent performance, gets it deep on the inside, has it knocked away by Zargai. Starmani picks up the personal. Nichols high, will skip it to Dominguez. Little hesitation, goes back to Endur. Nowhere to go, has to kick it back. Dominguez attacks it, goes off the glass for two, but no points. Whistle on the play. Sone will get it into the half court. Pick and pop action for the three. Great box by Lara Nichols. Anna Cruz leads the break for Spain. Nichols looks underneath, hits the corner. Zargai's spot, doesn't get the drop, and Jakobsoni will bring it for Latvia. Finds a little space, is fouled on the way through.
I think there has been an offensive foul on Marta Zargai.
But can't be offensive on Marta Zargai. Because she's on defense.
Sorry, yeah. I meant there's
yeah, they call that, I think they call it Nanika for holding Zargai.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you, Mark, for correcting me. Yeah, definitely the intensity.
You, like Coach Zibarts, were confused at that point. So with Dominguez. We'll find Cruz on the reversal. Cool handle from Anna Cruz, stops and puts up the tough two, but Zargai's on the glass, Nichols is on the glass. Spain are just dominant at the moment, physicality-wise in particular. Dominguez, nice pass, Cruz is hit quite hard. Stramani picks her up. apologizes.
Yep, she knows that was an easy foul to take. And again, great recognition from poor guard Sylvia Dominguez. Has seen Ana Cruz wide open, cutting to the basket.
While Latvia won't want to extend too much energy, what they won't want is to be really beaten badly, because they need these fans to come back tomorrow and give them every opportunity to make it to Belgrade. So they will not want too heavy a defeat.
Yeah, absolutely agree, but I have to say, whoa, great.
And that sums their problem up. They've had so many good looks.
Yeah, just to finish the thought, I think first 3 quarters, at least so far, we still have one ahead of us, but I think they've been really representing the country with all the pride, and I think the Latvian fans so far feels definitely that they're going to come and cheer their team up in the qualification for quarterfinal tomorrow.
Well, the likelihood is their game will be either against Sweden, or if Sweden overturn France in the nightcap game, it could be against France. So both of those games are challenges, as they should be at this stage.
Yeah, you are at the EuroBasket women, so you can't expect easy games right now, especially when you're playing for the spots in the groups.
Spain turned it over, and they have, for a Spanish team, have turned it over a lot in terms of trying to go to the inside.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that Latvian defense really put the pressure on as well, same as I said, they have been challenged defensively. I think they displaying it back to Spanish team as well.
Whistle on the play. Kreslina tries to turn the corner. Baseline penetration whistle, as you'd expect, as they try to stop that. Pilabele.
Has been great recognition from Pilabere to try to attack Astuendur when she lifts on her feet, as we've just seen.
There's the contact. Kreslina puts it on the floor, goes and really break the defense down. Iliaku gets it to Kristina for the 3. She gets walked through by Pilau after the shot. Pilau just apologizes to the official that she ran through the offensive player, even though there's no foul called. Pilau has it reverses up. A little hesitation by Cruz. Pilau lines up the 3 and doesn't drop it, but Nichols just doesn't know how not to play hard, does she?
Exactly, great example for young players who's watching this EuroBasket.
Yaku is fouled to the middle.
To be honest, I think Elena Dicalacu doesn't get much space today. You can see that the Spanish guards are really facing her and then trying to cut her off any movement, so the scouting has been done properly, and still she's been able to give 10 points and be an effective defender for Spanish defense.
Yaku on the free throw line. Misses the first. Makes the second. Pilau reads the defense, skips it, gets it back. Endur comes high, takes the tough jump shot. Ulvina is just a live wire, so quick. Trowel, and they hit the second side. Strotmani gets it up. Finds a little hole, puts it on the floor, tries to go to the far side of the ring, and one. Well, I feel for Coach Zibarts here. He's in that little margin of, is he close enough to get back in it? He can't let it go if he's close enough to get back in it.
Yeah,
chance to make it a 12-point game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you have a chance to beat Spain, you would go for it.
It's almost the Spain are saying, well, yeah, we're in control, but we're not going to get you any closer. But in some ways, it would be easier if he was a bit further behind for him in relation to tomorrow's game.
Absolutely, and you can see that the Latvian team plays that zone defense after they have scored. So, pardon, not zone defense, zone pressing. So they definitely want to still challenge Spain.
Albina doesn't get the 2 to drop. Chance to make this a single-digit game if they hit the 3. The 2 will make it 11, and they're right back. Diaku gets inside, far side of the ring. And she's going to get no love on that one. To be fair on that play, she just looked for contact. Pina gets back to Palau. Lifts Uvina, goes inside. Travel.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of misunderstanding between two bigs of Spain because they both tried to post up at the same time, but Lara Nichols last second recognized that and just flashed for the high, but still Pina has traveled.
Stramane gets it into the half court, ball's reversed. Backdoor pass, beautiful. We had the advantage of being able to see that develop all the way through. Easy 2 for Brumane, beautiful pass. We're at 11. A stop now and a score makes life very interesting. Palau takes the long 2, is long. Got to come up with a defensive rebound and do, and now the crowd are believing this. Diliaku just about holds on, she just recovers it. Going baseline is fouled by La Palau. And that will send Diliaku back to the free throw line. We're at single digits if she makes both, and there's still 4:20 to go. The dream's still on for the crowd.
Absolutely, and that's where again great intention to run a quick break for Latvia, and great recovery for Elena Dikalaku. Get it back on the court and still being the one who's going to draw the foul and put Leila Palau under a little bit personal pressure, I'd say, after that missed shot and now the foul. And I'm sure Leila Palau is experienced enough to know that that wasn't 2 of her best decisions so far.
10-point game, 9-point game rather. Palau gets it to Endor, who relieves the pressure and reverses the ball. Ulvina finds Palau. Every possession, play by play, get a stop. Outside, Ulvina penetrates, has to put a floater up, doesn't get the drop, but Endor is fouled. It's not so much, the defense did everything it could except rotate, because they didn't rotate to box out, they didn't start to compete until it was too late. Dominguez and Zargai come back, Palau's going to sit, as does Pina. Mane checks back in.
Yeah, Pilabera is out right now for 5th personal foul.
That's through Endor. Who looks as comfortable as you could look with 4:04 to go. Knocks down the pair. Just to keep control, just to keep the margin. 11-point game. Diliaku will take as long as she can to get it in. And does so. Reset. Tay puts it on the floor, goes strong with the right hand off the manufactures it from somewhere. We're back at 9 with 3:50. And Dominguez. They just will not go. They will not go away. Nichols out top, needs a pass, finds a pass. Endur going to work, down low, can't get it to drop, but Nichols is going to come up with it. Dominguez for two is no good. And Latvia with chances here to cut it to 6 or 7. Diliaku down the middle. Wraps the pass, easy two. Oh, there's a group, there's 3,000 Latvians who believe this could happen. 53 to 46.
I wish people can feel that crowd behind the back of Latvian team right now, rewarding them for that effort they just displayed last couple of possessions.
Dominguez penetrates, stops, pops, comes up short, and Latvia have another defensive rebound. Diliaku's going to push. Takes the ball screen, turns the corner, needs a pass, finds a pass, gets the two. Timeout Spain. Latvia 5 down and giving themselves a real shot at the huge upset win. 53-48, Spain take the timeout and they have lots to talk about and to worry about.
Wow, what a consistency, let's say now, last couple of possessions, playing great defense from Latvian team and running that quick break before Spanish defense has set it up back again. And Elina Dikala could really recognize that advantage her bigs had on that quick breaks. It's always pleasure when your bigs running the floor as well and creating these mismatches. So great 2 quick possessions from Latvia to decrease that margin.
There's a huge stat. The bench points for Latvia, 13-4 in this quarter, 21 points off the bench. Contributions coming in from unusual places, should we say. And now they trail 5, and it is possession by possession.
Yes, so far Spain scored only 4 points in this quarter, and that could be really, really punishable, let's say. If Latvia is going to carry on with this intensity, energy, and with the 6th player in face of the crowd behind their back, that could cost Spain the game.
Coach Mondello has a little word with the camera, and now he has a little word with the official. The mascot enjoying himself, and we're back live. Dominguez. And Kreslina fouls. Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why?
Yes.
Do you get suckered into the foul because Silva Dominguez is playing really heads up and draws some contact?
Absolutely, and especially when you know when your team is in a foul trouble already and sending every other foul to the free throws. That's just 2 shots given to Silva Dominguez. No really effort.
Third foul for Kreslina. Technical fouls called on somebody because Zargai stepped to it, and Zibarts compounds the issue by getting the technical, and Dominguez will now step to the free throw line for 2, and that one craziness of Kreslina's foul, and then Coach Zibarts gives the referees reasons to give him a technical. Dominguez, and now the technical becomes even more of a crazy thing to give up because it would have been just a single point out of the free throws at most for Spain. Dominguez makes the 2nd, so they get the 2, so 7-point game. Blue Marne will advance the ball. Kreslina. Latvia have to be very brave now. Septe's got the layup. Foul called, free throws awarded, and they'll go to the line.
Yeah, that's a great contribution from Septe so far, her being on the court. Here she recognized that driving like completely open because Marta Zargai already was sending her into that screen what was coming from her Latvian teammate. So
Septe's hardly played in this tournament. Makes the 2 and then goes to the free throw line here, picks up the first of those 2. This will cut it to 5 again, which it does. And now Latvia up the floor. Why?
Yeah, there's
Is this the impetuosity of youth? Is that what it is?
I don't know, but one thing is to keep the pressure high and intensity high, but the second is when you know you're in foul trouble as a team, you don't want to just give another 2 free throws to the Spanish team. That's so unnecessary error right now, these last couple of possessions. Spanish team so far shooting 90% from free throws on the missed 2 out of 20 so far in this game.
And get the little roll off the front of the ring. Timeout is going to be called by Latvia. They trail 7, 2:23 to go with the basketball. They obviously cannot advance it. We're not in the last 2 minutes yet. But he needed to take that timeout then, otherwise he would have had none. Spain have no timeouts left. There's the rebound numbers that tell you that Latvia are closing that gap, but what they wouldn't give for a couple more offensive boards right now if they miss shots.
Yeah, absolutely. Spain on 15 offensive boards. That's such a high number, and above their average at this tournament, because till today's game they had only 10. Not only, so still great number, but giving up 15 offensive boards for Latvia, that's a really hard number to fight.
So, Lucas Mondello trying to ensure that Spain don't find a banana skin in the last group phase game. And that banana skin being Latvia at home in front of over 3,000 people with emotion on their side. And they just need to score on this possession to maintain that real momentum and then get a stop. And they get a stop and a score after that, makes it a 1-possession game. And you know you'd rather be the home team in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think both teams going to rely on their good defense these last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter to try to generate some errors of the positions.
Kreslina puts it on the floor. Deliaku. Mane is going to check out because she's fouled out. I think they're going to call it a moving screen. And that's what they called. And now they've got to do it all again. Cruz off the staggered screen. Puts it on the floor. Stops, needs a pass. Nichols looks high-low, but they play very good defense on Endor, who's trying to camp and get a space in there. The 2 goes up. It's long, and Latvia gained the rebound. 1:49 to go. Deliaku takes it, goes up, doesn't get the drop, and Nichols fouls, and that's great recognition. The drive lane was there. She took it. She's got to earn them both from the free throw line.
And again, another quick transition from Latvian offense, really before the Spanish defense has even set it up, and Laura Nichols only could foul.
Deliaku gets the 2, gets the first of the 2. We'll close it to a 5-point game if she makes the second. She does. Spain creaking under the pressure of Latvia. Almost turn it over. They do turn it over. Deliaku going up for 2 is good. 3-point game. We've got a 1-possession game with 1:30 to go. And the Cruz comes back to collect. Peral's going to have to come back for Spain, and Latvia just have to play defense and not foul on this possession. Zargai comes to the top. Cruz way outside. 7 seconds on the possession. Dominguez misses the 3, and Nichols does what Nichols does. Tremendous offensive rebound. Zargai. Cruz. they're going to wipe that off because they're going to call a foul, but on who? Foul on Esther Indur. 2 shots for Latvia to make it a 1-point game with 56.8 to go. Hayat Boumane on the free throw line with 3,000 people shooting the free throw with her. Looked a little bit heavy, that arm. Has to make the second. 2-point is a much better situation than the 3 for Latvia.
Absolutely, and the defensive position for Latvia would be such a...
Oh, Boumane misses both. They've got to do it again.
Yep.
But that's what it comes down to. Cruz in the backcourt, just about. Palau almost goes backcourt. Dominguez will recycle it. 10 seconds on the possession. Cruz going baseline. Needs a pass, finds it. La Palau steps into the hole for 2, is short. And Diliaku chanced on the break. The crowd stands. She doesn't have the option. Just about holds on. Well, Esther Indur just played, literally just played Septe. Did not play the ball one bit. Timeout, Latvia. 20.9 seconds to go. Coach Zibard's going to call the play that could tie the game. Spain have no timeout. So if they score and tie, I think he's going to have to trust his players.
Yeah, Coach Manoa has definitely, he does trust to his players. He has experiences within the roster, but at the moment I think Latvia's pressure and then the crowd pressure is working it in favor of Latvian team, and the effort the whole nation's putting into really try to beat this reigning champion is just enormous. And 4 seconds for Latvia to take that out of bounds in and try to create and decrease the margin. Really important defensive possession after for Latvia. Whatever's going to happen in this offensive possession of theirs. Both teams on the foul trouble, so any foul is going to be rewarded.
Well, that's the
2 free throws. So
that's the one thing Spain could do. They could just foul and say, well, they're only going to be 1 down and we've got the basketball. But they won't be able to advance it because they have no timeout. Open. Oh, she's out of bounds. Latvia get the open look from the 3-point line. But they couldn't handle the pass.
Great defensive possession from Spain to really force Latvia to this error.
Dominguez. They don't need to shoot at Spain. They have to steal it or foul it. They steal. And that's why one of those free throws would have been so important to Latvia. One of these makes it a 2-possession game with only 14.4 to go. Zibard has a timeout. I'm sure he'll take it because he can advance the basketball.
Yeah, Sylvia Dominguez already missed 1 free throws this game. So let's see how the pressure's going to work.
Sylvia Dominguez, EuroLeague women experience just goes through her veins on that one.
Yeah, some players loves the pressure. Some player loves to be on this free throws right now in this situation.
She goes 2 for 2. Latvia will take timeout. They won't get the same play they just ran, which is what they really need. But they have to come up with a play here. They don't necessarily need a 3, they need a quick one.
Yeah, absolutely. They need a quick one to give them a chance to have another opportunity to probably either steal, foul the Spanish team to get the possession back on their side to be able to give more points into their offense. Here we see Pilabera 5 fouls, Stormane 5 fouls personal, and Zentomelnica on 4 personal, Kreslina on 4 personal. We've seen the graphic and it just tells you how much aggressivity it has been in this game from both sides. So this must be really something what Coach Board has drawn to the team to try to get a quick basket. Very important. If not, the Latvian team really needs to straight away foul as quick as possible.
Well, Miliaku looks like to me that she'll go and set the screen down low for Kreslina. Or Kreslina may just come herself. But there'll be a down screen to release. Here she comes. Miliaku's got it. Gill knocks it away, knocks it out of bounds. Just grab it with 2 hands. Yeah. 10.5 seconds to go.
4 seconds has been on this action of Latvian offense, and
Miliaku will inbound. Tate needs to get something quick. Miliaku puts it on the floor. Gill fouls her again. 4.4 seconds, needs to make both.
Yeah.
Foul, hope they miss.
Or try to steal.
Yeah.
And then really quick 3, because then there wouldn't be any other way that Latvia could grab the win. So 4 seconds, a very short time, but not impossible.
Nothing's ever impossible while there are ticks on the clock left. Who makes the first? Goes to 18 points personal. She's done it in every single game of this group phase so far. She goes 2 for 2 from the line. No timeout left for Spain. They've got to inbound it. Dominguez gets it and does what she should do. Go quick. Gives it up. Game Spain. And they have been tested. They have been taken to the brink of a loss. And Spain survive in Riga. They win it 59-56. They will top the group. They will go direct to Belgrade. But it's likely it will be a Russia of someone of that nature that they will play in the quarterfinal. So Latvia have got to come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow and win again, probably against Sweden. Which is a mouth-watering prospect for the fans. One thing is for sure, the fans that have been here today, if there's any way they can, they will be here tomorrow. Because their country, their team has done them proud here. Spain and Latvia in front of over 3,000 people put on a show. And Spain win it 59-56.
Yeah, I think Latvia definitely can keep their head up and bring this momentum into that tomorrow's quarterfinals for qualification for quarterfinals, because they have been exceptional, and I think that intensity they play defensively, they definitely have to bring it into that game to really give their best to be able to fly to Belgrade for further stages of this tournament. We see now some percentage, 47% Latvia to Spain had 25%, but with more, Spanish team had 14 times more possession on their side. They scored 11 points more from the free throws than Latvian team, and I think giving up 16 offensive fouls to the team like Spain is that could be definitely one of the decisive elements of the game. As well, on the Latvian side, 25 turnovers, that's definitely the number they will want to decrease for that tomorrow's game. Here we see some game leaders with the steals, blocks, turnovers. I think Ubina, again, excellent performance today, defensively especially, and pushing the ball forward. I think that Spain has been definitely challenged, and to be honest, I think that has been a game of defenses today. we didn't see much scoring, but we definitely seen intensity and some great defensive plays.
So Spain players celebrate with a traveling contingent of Spanish fans. La Palau is literally a born-again basketball player in this tournament, loving every second of it, smiles all over her face. She's on her way to Belgrade, she's on her way to another quarterfinal of the EuroBasket women. And you're going to get some highlights here of what was the reason people come out and watch their national teams play, because Latvia just put it out there, gave themselves a chance to win at the end, and just couldn't quite get it over the line. Spain would really test it to the real edge of a defeat. But they will be the team that tops the group and get the direct flight to Belgrade. They lost the full period 21-10, keeping a Spanish team down to 10 points. Tells you how well Latvia played defensively. It also tells you that Spain are not the finished article yet. So lots of things for Coach Mondello and his staff to consider between now and when they play next, which won't be for about 5 days. So they get so much time because they go direct and then they get a rest day, and then the tournament schedule works out in such a way that he might not be playing until next Wednesday or Thursday, probably Thursday, I think. These Spanish fans will probably make the same journey. If you're going to come to Riga, why not go to Belgrade? Two of the most exciting capital cities in the continent of Europe.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nike warm-up begins now. With the applause, please welcome on court, Team of France.
Well, it was just such an effort. Such an effort. And I actually think that they'll bounce on that effort and really come back positive tomorrow. I don't think the professionals on this team are not going to have a problem now. They're in tournament mode. They've had a day off. They come here and play this game. 2 games back-to-back. They're more than capable of playing. As Deliaku showed in the game that she had on game day 2. So this is, I think, going to be a real positive for Latvia going into the playoff game. Who they play, they won't know until after this next game, because if Sweden win, they could be playing France. So their route to Belgrade could be Spain, then France. That's a hell of a combination of games. As unlikely as that may be, Sweden have definitely got it within their capability to give that result. Here is the confirmation of the Group A standings. Spain go to Belgrade. Great Britain and Latvia will play the 2nd and 3rd teams from Group B tomorrow. Check the schedules out when you get the chance. They'll be exciting. This has been exciting. That's been a privilege. We'll see you soon for the final game of the day from Riga.